My name is Bill Huber. I went to the Rochester Institute of Technology, NTID. My first major was accounting because my father was an accountant. He'd been doing it for 33 years. I thought, well, I'll just do the same thing. Well, no, that's not my niche, I found out. It just wasn't a good fit for me. And I decided to go to England for a study abroad program. And that's where I used my computer a lot for communicating with my relatives, my friends that were back on the mainland here in the United States. And I got even more fascinated on how that worked with the emails and all that information, how it's saved and the data that's in an email and going back and forth and communicating. And I had an epiphany. I changed my major to Management Information Systems, and I started analyzing all the databases and how the computer works and the technology resources that are available to meet the customer's needs. And those were the things that impacted me, that got me fascinated in that field, and I'm still in that field to this day.
IBM is a global company. It's a global technology company. There's a lot of opportunities, whether it be software development, hardware, sales, support, services, consulting. There's a vast variety of opportunities within the company itself.
I started here as a supplemental software engineer, and I was learning technology and how the codes worked and software works, making sure I knew how to communicate with my coworkers. A few years later, I could support myself in my job. Then a few years after that is when I started supporting the team and leading the team. I'll bring some detailed questions for the hardware people. Do you think they'll be able to have the devices for you by Friday?
Why don't you go ahead and pull together the list of questions you had for that? We can take a look at it right before the meeting to make sure it captures all our needs.
I'm able to create innovations, and I'm able to patent several things as well, so that's really great. I'm working on a patent of the innovation on things that had not yet been developed in the public. Tools to communicate faster with their peers, with their relatives, or with blind people as well. When I come into my office in the morning, I tend to check my emails first. It takes maybe an hour or two to read through my codes, and writing codes and changing codes, and then I go to meetings. The things that I've done kept increasing more and more with the more experience that I had, the more research that I did. I'm better than I was yesterday, and I keep adding on to that, increasing my experience, increasing my knowledge.
That was part of the requirements.
A strong background in mathematics, science, as well as writing communication in English, those skills are really necessary to be in the industry of the high-tech field.
My name is Chin Kwan, and I work as a software engineer for IBM. We did have a lot of colleges in China, however, there were none with interpreters available in the program. I did try to take some hearing general college courses there, but with my hearing loss and no interpreter, I missed so much of the information that it just wasn't successful. I really hadn't had any experience with computers before that. Coding in China, I knew my hearing classmates were taking some of those courses, and I had wanted to do the same, but I knew I would not be able to hear the instructors. I'd missed too much of the information. And then I got to RIT. I saw that they had an IT program. It did pique my interest. I decided once I got there that it was going to be the field I was going to take. I get to provide technical expertise by phone and email. I also provide customers with remote technical assistance to help them resolve any technical issue that they may have with their WebSphere application servers. And I also do provide some technical analysis and decode traces for those customers where we can help them resolve complex technical issues. Yeah, that's something that I need to ask the customer about, just to make sure that there's no other Java processor running at the same time. I also like math. Writing code in different programs and those languages is tough, so I've really fallen in love with the IT field because of that. And when you look at the world, there are so many companies, including IBM, that really need IT skills. Okay, so do you need any more information from me, or if I can write any kind of code or create a computer application in a game right now and give it to any of my friends to play with? So that's kind of a nice thing to do. That's a lot of fun. Suppose I forget something and I don't document it. I can make a program that will run some kind of documentation reminder for me. So the technology makes life easier.
Technology has impacted the generation of today, and talking about deaf and hard of hearing individuals in general, they're put on the same playing field.
There was this one saying that said, if I wanted a good future, then I could only depend on myself. So yes, people would help you, but if I didn't do anything myself, I was never going to get anywhere.